Scunthorpe away. Neil, how much better has this week's training been, or easier perhaps, because of the result from last Saturday?
Yeah, they've certainly been lively this week. I mean, to be fair to the lads, they have been all season, but there's something that results in instilling players. They get a lift and they get some more confidence. Instilled in them just from picking up wins. You can't manufacture it. You can't just make it up. It only happens with results, and they've certainly been lively this week after the win last week.
And confidence, no doubt, boosted as well. How much of the game for you is all about confidence?
It is. It's amazing. I mean, you speak to anybody in the game, and it's. I think the first 20 minutes against Wimbledon, you could see one team was nervous and scared of making mistakes, and there's another team up near the right end of the table who were playing well and used to playing well. And I thought for 20 minutes against Wimbledon, you could see the main difference between the two teams was the confidence. And if you got one team scared of making mistakes, you end up not doing the right thing. But the minute they got into the game last week, we kept improving, and then, as I say, the goal and the fact we got 3 points, it really does give the players a boost.
And can one result bring that confidence back, or just sort of take it back up to the maximum, so that we see a confident Cheltenham team this Saturday?
Well, hopefully it can. I mean, again, it's we're not just gonna say it's all our problems solved. We've got a late winner, and let's move on. And no, you still gotta work at things. You still got to be prepared properly. You still got to watch the game back and see what we did do well and what we didn't do quite so well. So, as I say, confidence is a big word. Hopefully we've found a much needed boost in that department, but there's still plenty of work to be done in other areas.
How much of a difference does Jason Taylor make? Because I know he hasn't been a regular this season all the way through, but I think he's been involved in both the league victories, hasn't he?
He has, yeah, and both clean sheets. He's a good talker. He's a good communicator. He's a good organiser. He's a good player. I mean, we keep saying it. We've got a good squad here, and we just want players to really nail the team, the name down on the team sheet. And I mean, I'm a big fan of Jason's. We all are. We brought him to the club, and he's disappointed he's not been playing as many starts as he would have liked. But no, he's certainly done well in the couple of games he has started.
And is this week one where it's hard for you and Mark to make any changes?
Possibly, yeah. I mean, it's a different game, isn't it? Going up to Scunthorpe, excellent home record. They're a big club. They've got a lot of good players that who've played high, a lot of good experienced players, and it's certainly a tough place to go. But as I say, we're getting bodies back. Having Jamie Curtin back from injury and Troy Brown, and all of a sudden the team and the group looks a lot stronger.
Scunthorpe don't concede many, but they tend to draw a lot as well. What do you make of their form so far?
Yeah, they're doing steady. They steady away. I mean, it's difficult after a relegation sometimes. I mean, because I think they are a big club at League Two level, and perhaps people just automatically think they'll do well because of that. But it's hard after a relegation. You can't just automatically bounce back and pick up results. You have to work at it, and they're going quite well. I certainly think they'll be up there or thereabouts, at least in the playoffs come next May. So it's certainly a tough task.
One player in their team stands out in terms of who the fans will know, Chris Uwalumo, and obviously you were here when he was here. So thoughts on his career, the way he's progressed?
He's done fantastic. I mean, he is a big handful. But he's more than just a presence. He's got a lot of talent as well, and that's his career's shown it to get international caps. He's a good player, and he's obviously coming towards the end of his career now. But he's still got enough physical attributes and fitness to complement his experience now. So of course he's a handful. But they've got other players as well that we'll have to keep an eye on.
I know Mark wasn't panicking, at least outwardly anyway, about the league position, but I suppose having got those 3 points last week and just looking at the table, it's so tight in the middle that if you can go on a run, you can climb it very quickly, can't you? Absolutely,
and again, it doesn't just happen. You don't. I think in the next few weeks, after 4 or 5 games, if we can go on a little unbeaten run and pick some points up, it'll be later. It'll be another month's time before you can perhaps look at the league table and think, yeah, we're getting towards where we want to be. It doesn't just happen, after a 1 win.
I suppose the key is now to go on that run, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, it's hopefully we are up and running. You know, they've been in a good place this week, the lads, but we certainly don't want to take a step back and you know, be scratching our heads wondering why we've you know, took a step back again.
Injuries? How's the squad?
Yeah, as I said, we're looking on paper. We're looking a lot better. Just having, you know, Jamie back and Troy. Craig's chomping at the bit to get back into training, but you know, he's had a very nasty ankle injury, so we just have to make sure he's ready to train when you know, when he's ready to train.
You know, I suppose actually having got that win last week, does the pressure get taken off of him a little bit, and he can actually, or you actually to put him back in?
Do you know what the good thing about? I mean, we talk a lot about Wes the physio, and he can get pressured by potentially, you know, by players, by staff, you know, just saying when's such a body going, and he's great. He steps back, he looks at the, you know, the injury in isolation, and he knows what the player needs before to return, and no amount of pressure or persuasion changes his mind.
Thank you. Good luck.
Cheers. Thank you.
Neil, I think you played in Uluma's debut at Mansfield. Do you remember that? That's all he scored in a 2-1 defeat.
A 2-1 defeat.
Do you remember it at all?
I don't think I do. No. I normally do remember games, but no, I can't remember.
But he just sort of came out of nowhere, didn't he? I think he turned up on the night. Nobody really knew who he was until the teams were read out.
Yeah, well, yeah, that was obviously Steve Cottrell who brought him in, and he spotted a good player, obviously.
Yeah. It's the first time I've spoken to you since Dave Kevin came in. Players have commented on how much they're enjoying, you know, sessions and stuff. Is it changed your role at all? Is it, or is it just sort of another pair of hands to spread the workload a little bit?
That's exactly what it is. He's a very knowledgeable football person, great manner. He's very good company. And he's a good football person, and you know, it is another pair of eyes. It's another pair of hands throughout the workload that we miss when Jason Murphy had to leave. You know, so I mean, the fact we've been able to bring him in, we really are genuinely delighted, and if the players think he's doing something right, that's always one battle won.
Yeah, another voice as well, isn't it? Different, which Steve Cottrell did, bringing in Graham Alder, didn't he? Another coach with him, along with him and Mike Davis.
Absolutely, yeah, you do. It's I mean, as much as you think you know it all and you've got all the right answers, you know, sometimes you know, you do need to speak to people, and it's good getting a different opinion, you know, because Dave's not been here too long. He's got sort of no baggage on, you know, or any problems or preconceived ideas about players, and he's just offering his opinions on what he's seen since he's been here, and it's, you know, it is good to have that feedback. Yeah,
he went overnight for Accrington, got the hard-fought 1-0 win, but didn't go so well at Bury. But yeah. you've been granted another one. It's quite rare for Cheltenham to have these trips, isn't it? But how much of a help is it? You can get everyone together.
It is. I mean, I think I say it a lot. It's you know, thanks to the chairman and the directors for doing it, because it does make a hell of a difference, and you know, it doesn't guarantee that you'll get a performance, never mind the win, but it is trying to do the right thing, and the more time you try and do the right thing, you know, you've got more chance of being successful. As you say, it doesn't guarantee performances or results, because we had a win against Accrington but not against Bury, but it doesn't mean that it's the wrong thing to do just because we didn't win.
Yeah, as a centre-half or right-back yourself, do you take extra responsibility for the defence, and did that give you extra satisfaction last week that you got the clean sheet? Because it was un-Cheltenham-like, wasn't it, the amount of goals that were flying in?
Yeah, we have. I mean, I think going back to the Bury game, you know, just having two defenders coming off injured, and the madness of the goals getting conceded, it you know, blows like that do hurt, and it's and again, looking back, when you're a player, you know, the players aren't machines. You know, they suffer from confidence crises and things like that. But yeah, I was a defender. I do enjoy clean sheets, but I think you hear a lot of interviews from, you know, various people throughout the game, and people are always keen to say if you have a base with the clean sheets, you know, you've got something to work with. Yeah,
James Wilson and Troy Brown hadn't played together before, and Troy had only just had a couple of days of training, didn't he? So the way they performed together to keep a team that was in the league out, that was a good effort, wasn't it?
Excellent, yeah. I thought James Wilson was excellent. I really did, and obviously Troy was as well. He's it's horrible when you're injured as a player, especially when you're seeing results not going for you, and you see the lads go off training, and then you have to disappear by yourself or with Wes. So I think again, it's testament to Wes that Troy was able to come back in so still in good shape, and I think as a defender, as a centre half, you can get away with stuff. You're not doing perhaps the same sharpness of runs that a Jamie Curriton might need. But he did. He came back in and he looked like he'd been playing all season, to be honest.
Yeah, and just finally, Curriton obviously showed his quality, which everyone knew he had with that finish. But it's a difficult decision now, isn't it? Because the other two are doing well up there as well. So he's not just going to walk straight back into the team, is he?
Yeah, exactly. And I've said it before. You don't just want 11 players. You need a squad. And we've had Byron and Terry scoring, and when we called upon Jamie on his return, he scored as well. So that's certainly one positive from the season, that we have been finding the net at the right end.
Yeah. Cheers, Neil.
Yeah.